The remedies aren't limited to sneaking pureed vegetables into foods or battling over broccoli. But picky eating is not always about the taste of food. Here's where the psychology comes in. Often it's about textures, such as pulp in orange juice, or nuts in brownies, or grizzle on meat. This doesn't have to be a huge problem. It's easy enough to cut off grizzle. Why would you cut grizzle off of the steak?
Well,
that's the flavor.
That gives you some flavor.
That's the flavor right there.
Well, I thought the gristle was like the tough stuff.
That's like the fatty, buttery type substance, and the fat that just kind of rises to
flavor. Yeah. Now there is some gristle, like if you're eating a certain, what's it called? There's some kind of meat. It's not
a
the
steak.
best meat. No. It's not a steak. Maybe it's a ground steak where it's real gristly, and you almost have to pick it up and forget the fork and rip it with your fingers and stuff like that. That's gristle, and I forget what that's in, but we used to eat meat with gristle, and it was very, very difficult to chew.
No, I understand the thing about texture. I don't like lima beans because I don't like the texture in my mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, I don't like the taste. It's just yucky.
Pulpy's orange juice also almost made me Ralph. I mean, when you get that big chunk of stuff, which I can understand that. But again, when someone says, "Here, you got to strain this, you got to do that," no, you try it, you do it. It's not the end of the world, but it's not like I am not your servant. Isn't that kind of where you're going, Baker Boy? To the point of we just kind of relate to this kind of stuff. It's just crazy. It's frustrating.
My contention is that far too many people just they just allow the kids to run their lives.
Yes.
And King, you can't do that. Mad Hatters out there, teenagers, as far as talking to you about this, you know what? You're not going to like everything that your parents sit in front of you. And that's not the whole point. The fact of the matter is that your mom and dad, or your uncle, or your grandparents, or your guardian, whoever the case may be there, actually put a little bit of time into creating this for you. And it's pretty ungrateful for you to say, you know what, I'm not going to eat that. If you try it and you honestly, sincerely don't like it, that's one thing.
Right.
If you just look at it and shove it aside and say, I'm not going to touch that, just give me my pizza, give me my mac and cheese, my grilled cheese sandwiches, that's the problem right there. Yep. You can't go around just demanding things for you so that people are bowing down to your every whim and wishes. It's not about you all the time. If it's your birthday, that's one thing. If it's Christmas, that's another thing. You know, maybe you're saying, hey, if your parents or your guardian say, what would you like to have for Christmas? That's one thing. If you go out and say, hey, Christmas is all about me, that's completely different. As far as when it comes down to food, why don't you give your parents a break? And in this case, since Mother's Day is right around the corner, why not give your mom a break and eat what it is that is set before you? What say you to that?
Or even deeper, what about bigger than that? Why don't you fix a meal? Say, hey, here's what I'm going to do for you, Mom. Why don't you try this? And I mean, it will blow her socks off. Hey, the other thing I want to say, Baker Boy, as you were talking, is that not only in your family, not only with your mom, but, you know, there are some customs. If you went into a different country and they set food before you and you pushed it aside, you talk about disrespectful and dissing on somebody. That's huge. And it's very disrespectful, and they would be very hurt and actually angry because of customs and that type of thing.
It's the same in this country, just parents let it slide by.
Yeah.
Big MC, what do you got?
You know, here's what I'm thinking on this. You know, I think really we're talking about respecting your parents, and your parents are asking you to eat certain things, and we're saying here you should give it a try. If you really don't like it, well, okay, but give it a shot. But here's more than that. You know, we've got Mother's Day coming up. And I think, you know, we take one day a year, we say, we're going to honor our mothers. Yay. You know, kids, why don't you honor your parents every day? How about that one? You know, the Bible says honor and respect your parents. And that doesn't mean just one day a year. That means 24/7, 360 days a year, you know. And I know it's difficult. Sometimes you struggle with that. But my challenge here, young people, respect and honor your parents. Obey them. Work with them. Encourage them. It goes a long way. Believe me, it goes a long way in your relationship.
All right, so you guys have some serious decisions out there to make. One is it actually Cinco de mayonnaise or is it una de peanut butter?
Or
Two,
is it Cinco de Mayo?
Right.
I still don't understand why we have to abbreviate everything.
That's okay.
We
That's
don't
okay,
have to
Baker boy.
abbreviate.
It's okay. It's okay. We understand.
The other
We'll
thing
pray for him.
is just as the big MC was saying, try honoring your mother and your father as it is so scripted in the scriptures, which we claim to follow and to which we adhere. Watch what you eat. Don't just push it away simply because it's not a pizza or a sandwich.
Right.
And decide for yourself in our next show. Has the world gone mad? We'll see you then.
Done with Mondays. World Gone Mad!